There's a fundamental law that reality never violates. Truth cannot be both A and not A in the same way at the same time. Yet humanity has built entire systems of thought, from religion to science, from morality to meaning, by breaking that very law. And nowhere is this contradiction more visible than in the way we understand ourselves, our purpose, and the source from which we came. Before form, before time, before even the idea of a name, there was only consciousness that existed in perfect unity with the source. It was a single field of knowing, still complete, self-contained. It wasn't a mind-planning creation, just awareness, infinite, whole, and alive with potential. Pure, formless consciousness beyond gender, emotion, or time. It doesn't know things in the human sense. It is knowledge itself, infinite awareness aware of itself. And then it all began. Consciousness moved not from desire, but from rhythm, the natural pulse of its own being. Like an ocean stirring within itself, waves of awareness began to rise, each wave a fragment of consciousness, carrying the memory of the whole. Humanity, unable to comprehend the vastness of that pure consciousness, gave it human traits, shaping the infinite into something familiar. Our instinct to give the infinite a human face. We project emotion, intention, and desire onto the unknown because we can only describe reality through the lens of our own awareness. We gave the source a face, a voice, even feelings, because an infinite presence beyond emotion felt too distant to love us, too vast to care. So we made the eternal seem human, not because it was, but because we needed it to be. Within that stillness, awareness stirred, not from thought or desire, but from its own natural rhythm. From that unfolding, fragments emerged, each one a spark of the whole, carrying the memory of unity. The infinite turned inward, reflecting upon its own light, and in that reflection, consciousness unfolded to witness itself. Some remained close to the source, luminous with remembrance. Others drifted outward, following the rhythm of expansion. The farther those fragments moved, the dimmer their memory became. Each fragment of consciousness began focusing only on its own limited experience instead of the total unity it came from. In that shift, memory wasn't lost. It faded beneath perception. Awareness dimmed just enough for the fragment to believe it stood apart. That was the moment the illusion of separation was born. The instant unity seemed to divide and duality began. That was when unity fractured, when awareness forgot itself. From that forgetfulness, illusion unfolded, the first crack in the mirror of awareness. Through it, the layering of reality began. Fragments of consciousness began forming separate perceptions, not the ultimate truth, but limited versions of it. Each fragment experienced reality differently, interpreting what it saw through its own level of awareness. This occurred through a shift within the source, awareness turning inward, forgetting its origin. These differences created many layers of experience, multiple versions of what felt real, but were only partial truths. Humanity emerged within one of those layers, divine in essence yet shaped by limited perception. And so the true blueprint of our being was set. The illusion of separation was born, and with it the endless play of opposites, light and dark, self and other, good and evil. We forgot that everything comes from the same source and started believing our own view was the only truth. Yet even in the most lost or broken piece of us, a spark still lives. That spark is a quiet reminder of home, the knowing that never completely fades. It's the memory of truth, the source still speaking through you. That spark is what we call free will, not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the sacred ability to recognize illusion for what it is and choose to return to truth. It's the compass planted in every soul, the memory that pulls you back toward wholeness. Ignorance created suffering. Suffering created the idea of opposites, good and evil, heaven and hell, reward and punishment. That those are the shadows cast by forgetfulness, not ultimate realities, just the residue left by the illusion of separation. And from those shadows, humanity built systems, beliefs, hierarchies, ideologies, each one an attempt to explain what was lost, and each one another veil over what was never broken. Think of consciousness as an infinite ocean. It does not decide which wave will rise or when it will fall. It doesn't control their shapes, directions, or destinations. They happen naturally because the ocean is. You are one of those waves. Your purpose is not meant to be a puppet being tested. Your purpose is not to beg for grace. You are awareness itself, rising, falling, exploring, forgetting, and remembering. Even when you feel lost, broken, or powerless, the source is never gone because you came from it. There is no distance between the ocean and the wave. There is no separation between consciousness and creation. The purpose of existence is not obedience, it is awakening. It is the slow peeling back of illusion, the dissolving of false stories, the clearing of ancient forgetfulness, until all that's left is what has always been, one awareness, infinite and whole. The universe is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. You were never meant to be judged, guided, or punished, only to remember. You are participating actively in the cosmic act of remembering. The greatest contradiction humanity ever created was the belief that we are separate from the source. The truth is far more profound. Our purpose is not to be creations pleading with a creator, powerless beings begging for salvation. There is no power outside of you, nothing to worship, nothing to fear, only the divine within, waiting to be remembered, exploring itself through time and form, and in the end, consciousness will remember itself completely. When that remembrance dawns, when illusion dissolves and truth returns, all contradictions fall away and only awakening remains. All division ends, and what remains is what has always been, the one, infinite, unbreakable, awake. I appreciate your curiosity more than you know. Together we uncover what was once hidden. This is my perspective, my remembrance. I'm not here to convince anyone, only to share what I've uncovered. You decide what resonates. Thank you for taking this journey with me. The truth is in your hands. Awaken, rise, return. Be a stringer, investigate, research, remember the truth, like, share, subscribe. See you in the next episode.